And now, Lifestyles Unlimited presents the Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Over the next hour, we unfold your map to financial freedom. You'll learn how to retire through investing in single-family and multifamily real estate. You'll learn how to create cash flow and build wealth so you can have the time and money to live the lifestyle you want.
Welcome to the show. My name is Al Gordon, and as always, we're working on your financial freedom. It's another edition of Tell Al Tuesday, and I've asked Reza and Ashley to join me. And the reason I have them on today's show is so that you can learn. I want you to learn a lot from them. Now, I do have to disclose that they've only been members of Lifestyles Unlimited for, let's see, what time is it? 13 months, about 13 months. But I will tell you, in that 13-month period, they have been changing the reality of their life. Now, they, like you, used to do everything the same way you're doing it now. What does that mean? It means that they were taught by people that they respect that they should go to school, get good grades, maybe get into college, get more good grades, maybe get into the workforce, and then start stuffing money into something like a 401k or an IRA or something like that. And they did all of these types of things, but here's the fallback. They weren't getting ahead. They actually had a meeting with their financial advisor who told them, well, your account is down by about 30%. And they realized that they were still in the rat race no matter how hard they were trying to avoid the rat race and to get out of the rat race. So let's do this. Let's bring Reza and Ashley onto the show because I want you to get inside of their minds. I want you to understand what they have been doing as real estate investors. And I will tell you this, they've been doing some amazing things. In the 13-month period, they have bought 4 single-family homes. They've invested in a multifamily apartment community, and they are just getting started. So with no further ado, let's bring Reza and Ashley onto the show. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you. Great.
Thanks for having us, Al.
So are you guys ready to spill the beans and to share with the entire world everything you've been up to for the last 13 months?
Yeah, let's go. Happy to.
And Ashley is like deadly quiet. She's like totally quiet, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just having a little fun with you, Ashley. Okay,
Yeah.
So did I get any of that stuff correct in the beginning of the show? I mean, were you advised by people that you trusted in your life to do certain things to get to a place of financial freedom in your future?
Yeah, we followed the typical format, going to school, getting good grades, going out, getting a job, dumping whatever 10 to 20% of our money into a 401k. And the last time we sat down with my financial planner, quote unquote financial planner, he said, I said, look, we lost 30% of our money. And he's like, well, don't worry about it. Dollar cost averaging. If you look at the history of investments, that all come back, just hang tough. And I just told him, I said, we're doing this wrong. There has to be something better. And that's when I stumbled across Dell's radio show.
So what was it about Dell's radio show that caught your attention?
Initially, my spidey sense was going off like it's just you're another typical real estate professional get-rich-quick scheme. And, I was just kind of half listening, but when I heard more, and he basically says, there's no secrets here. Everything that we're telling you is information that's readily available. It intrigued my attention, and I looked into it more and learned that it's a 34-year-old company with A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau. And nowadays in the internet, you can't really hide. If this was a scam, it would be out there. And we've learned firsthand that it's, in fact, reality, and it's not a scam, and it actually works. We're doing it. We're in the process right now, and we're staring down the barrel of real estate retirement in the next 3 years.
That's amazing. So you've been a member for slightly over a year, and you're on a game plan to get yourself retired in the next 3 years. I mean, that's being completely retired in a period of 4 years. I think that's an amazing plan. Is it going to work?
Yes, it will. The numbers speak for themselves. And I told Ashley we can do this in 5 years, but I think we could do it in less, based on the cadence that we're on currently. We initially had 2 properties in the first 6 months. We've already had 2 properties this year, and they are going to be done in 3 more weeks. And as soon as they get rented out, we're going to get in another 2 and rinse and repeat.
Now, are both of you working full-time right now?
I am working full-time in my medical device sales role, and Ashley is substitute teaching and a full-time mom, which is the hardest job in the world, and periodically cuts hair. So she's busy.
Now, was the education beneficial for you, or was it just, something you had to get through in order to actually start investing?
It was huge for us to get started, because we had no idea about what we were getting ourselves into, and we needed some significant education in order to get started. And Lifestyles provided that in spades, not only in the 2-day, which was 16 hours of drinking from a fire hose, but then afterwards, all the at-home study that we were able to do at our own time, at our own cadence. That was really where the crux of the education came in, and we learned a ton about how we're going to get started. It was all the continuing education afterwards.
Did you take advantage of the mentorship that Lifestyles Unlimited offers?
Yes, yeah, and I laugh because we've become close friends with our mentors. And, I was on the phone with these guys a couple of times a day, and they were so gracious in listening to us, walking us off of ledges with their own experience, and really helping us through the process. They were instrumental in what we have accomplished so far, and we have a lot of love for them.
So you said you've become close friends with your mentors, like plural. So you're working with more than one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we have 2 mentors that we work with on a regular basis. But since we are investing in Houston, we work with the local mentors in Houston. We're in Dallas. We work with a local mentor in Dallas. And then we have the multifamily mentor, that all of which help us through answering any questions that we have and just giving us pearls of wisdom from their own experience that has been instrumental in what we've done so far.
So what is it about these mentors that helped to allow you to achieve the results you've currently achieved?
Well, they've done it. They've been there. They've made all the mistakes. They've experienced all the craziness that comes with taking a house from dirt to chic, and they've done it all. And they've been there. They are there to answer all of our questions because they've been there and they've done that. So it's really satisfying, and it reduces the anxiety of the whole process because they have answers right at the tip of their tongues because they've been there.
Now, where do you guys live in the United States of America?
In Colorado.
Okay, so you mentioned you're buying properties in Texas and Ohio. That's a great distance away from where you live. Doesn't that concern you?
It did at first, We had no idea how we were going to do it, but with the education and the tutelage of our mentors, we have gone through it with iPhone FaceTime videos and emails and just a high level of communication with all of the vendors that we work with. It's worked. We've only physically seen one of the 5 properties that we own.
Wait a minute. You mean you haven't gone to see 4 of the properties that you own? I mean, doesn't that sound risky to you guys?
Yeah, risky to say the least. When we watched videos of our first property, which was a train wreck of a house, and you see the videos of the contractors or the realtors walking through, and I mean, it was a hoarder house, so it was full of stuff, and you could see the bugs in the video, and I'm thinking to myself, what are we doing? This is crazy. And 3 months later, it was a brand new house, just like that.
No bugs?
No more bugs. No more bugs. No more holes. No more junk. It was just a beautiful, brand new house in 3 months' time. I couldn't believe that it happened so quickly, but it is truly a well-oiled machine. The contractors basically ask us, do you want the gray package or the beige package? And they just go and do what they do, and they send you weekly videos, and you could get on a FaceTime call with them while they're on the property to get updated. It's almost like you're there.
I think that's amazing. I mean, you guys are living, what is that, about a 2,000-mile drive or something from where that first property is?
Yeah, it's about a 15-hour drive, yep.
15-hour drive. Okay, so now I'm starting to understand why you wouldn't want to go drive to the property every day, because that would be a long drive, and it would, well, I mean, you live in a beautiful part of the country, but you are driving through some of the flatland. So, yeah, I could see why you wouldn't want to do that.
I can't wait. It was really cool to be in Dallas recently to see our most recent property in its very beginning stages. It was eye-opening, to say the least. But I can't wait to go see the other properties physically.
So did you specifically go to Dallas to take a look at that property?
No, we were there on a cheerleading competition weekend and jumped in the car and ran down to check it out when we had some time. It worked out.
So you were in Dallas for a very specific reason that had nothing to do with your real estate. You just kind of said, hey, since we're here, well, let's go check it out?
Yeah, exactly. It was just coincidental that we were in Dallas, and we just recently bought a property in Dallas. So we went down to check it out, and we met with the contractor. He walked through with us and showed us everything that he showed us in the videos, and it was really neat to see. We can't wait for it to be done. It should be done in about 3 weeks.
I think that's amazing. It sounds like you've dialed in all of the aspects of what you need to accomplish as a real estate investor. And that includes not going to the property because you don't need to. I know that bothers some of you listening to us, but they didn't need to physically go to the property because they didn't have to. When we come back from the break, more with Reza and Ashley. Stick around.
Got questions? Call Lifestyles Unlimited at 855-497-4335. The Real Estate Investor Radio Show continues next.
Lifestyles Unlimited member Chad on the life-changing rewards of real estate investing.
Residents come in thanking you for taking what was dull and drab and turning it around and making their lives better. It's definitely a blessing.
Become a life changer today with Lifestyles Unlimited. Go to GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Enter code 2024. Join the Financial Freedom Program for just $297 for 2 years. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Code 2024.
creating the lifestyle you've always wanted. You're hearing Lifestyles Unlimited's Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Welcome back to the second half of the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. My name is Al Gordon. I am joined by Reza and Ashley, and together we are working on your financial freedom. So as we were going to break, we were talking about all kinds of different things that involve real estate investing, and I pointed out that you guys have, outside of one property, you've never physically visited your property. And I think that's a testament to the knowledge base that you've gained, because at the end of the day, there's no real reason for you to visit a property, especially given all the technology that we have today. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Between FaceTime videos and actual text message videos or emailed pictures, we have all the information that we need to make the decisions that will help us through the process.
So let's talk about that very first property that you bought in Texas. Do you remember what you paid for that property originally?
Yeah, so that property, it was a $100,000 purchase price for the property. It was an $85,000 rehab on that property, and then it appraised for $232,000.
So it sounds like you had to write a check for $185,000 to buy that property and rehab it. I mean, where'd you get all that money?
Thank goodness, no. I had the same question, and I was really scared about what we were about to get into because I thought it was going to take up all of our money. But with the education that we got regarding hard money loans, we were able to get into that property, rehab it, and close on it and refinance it for about $13,000 out of pocket.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. That's all you spent on a $232,000 property was $13,000?
Yep.
That's pretty amazing. Talk to me about how that hard money experience worked out for you.
So hard money gives you the money for the purchase of the home plus the rehab because they base their loan on the after repair value of the house. So they take your property the way that it is, and it was a mess, and they look at your plan or scope of work on rehabbing the property, and they base their after repair value on the neighborhood and the comps in the neighborhood and what you plan on doing to the property. And then they loan you 70 or 75% of the after repair value. So you're not putting out any money out of pocket, just, a couple of $1,000s, a few $1,000s at the end of it. And that's mainly for closing costs and loan fees.
I think it's pretty incredible. I mean, I'm doing the math here while you were talking, and essentially you bought a $232,000 property for about 5.6% down. I mean, that's an amazing result, don't you think?
It's incredible. It's incredible that it works the way that it works. I'm kind of waiting for somebody to pinch me and say, nope, you're going to jail, or this is not, this is not the way that it's done. But it's reality. We're living it, and now we're moving faster and faster. In February, we bought 2 properties simultaneously after getting into a multifamily at the end of last year, and I want to move faster. I can't. I wish I could.
Well, you got to go at the pace that you got to go at. But let me just ask you a question. Where did all the money come from to buy all of these assets? I mean, did you have a jar in your backyard that you went and dug up, or did it come from someplace else?
It was all IRA money that I have saved throughout my career thus far, and we tapped into it, paid the penalties, and the taxes on it early and have made back everything that we have paid out already.
You know, you just scared half the audience away when you said you tapped into that sacred IRA. You realize you did that, right?
I'm sorry, but that's the only way we could do it as a family, because we didn't have that jar buried in the backyard, and I don't have any rich family members that are ready to pony up some money, and I had several $100,000 sitting in my IRA that I could tap into, and initially it was scary because you have to pay 10% tax, and then you have to pay another 29% on top of that to pull out this money. But we have made it back, and we'll continue to compound the benefits of our investments throughout. So initially it's scary and it sounds like a lot of money, but in reality, you're only paying 10% penalty because you're going to pay the taxes no matter what.
That's true. I mean, Uncle Sugar's going to get his cut regardless of whether you take it out now or you take it out when you're 70 years of age. He's going to get his tax money. But what about the penalty? I mean, were you concerned about, obviously you weren't concerned about paying the penalty, but did you look at opportunities to maybe avoid paying the penalty?
Yeah, we did. In our circumstance, it didn't work. And I know that if it's a 401k situation, Lifestyles has attorneys that will help you avoid a lot of that penalty. But in our case, my 401k was turned into an IRA, a traditional IRA. So we weren't able to avoid the penalties in our case. But I just considered it the price of doing business, and just ran with it.
Do you know how many more assets you need to put into your portfolio in order to retire?
Yeah, the math works out that we need 40 doors total for me to retire, and at this pace, we could very comfortably and realistically do that in the next 3 years, based on the trajectory that we're on currently.
So is it all going to be single family, or are you going to put some multifamily in the mix?
Yeah, we already have one multifamily in the mix, and we are employing a hybrid approach where we are going to do single families and multifamily investments simultaneously. So both. As soon as they come in and the funds are available, we're going to jump on them.
Now, are you going to need to dispose of some of your current assets and replace them with other assets in order to get this done? Or are you just on a straight glide path to buying properties?
Well, I'm going to exhaust all of my IRA money first. Once that's done, then things are going to slow down a little bit, because we're going to have to sell one property in order to get 2 or 3 more by basically exchanging it to avoid the taxes.
So you've already thought this through. I mean, you've got a definitive plan in order to get this done. The only thing that you don't control is the timeline.
Yeah, I mean, it has everything to do with the education that we received. We were absolutely clueless to all of this when we first started a year ago. Now I could sit down and have an intelligent conversation with a real estate investor based on everything that we were taught by the education through Lifestyles, and then what we learned from the mentors and what we are learning through our personal experience.
Man, I just had a vision of a bunch of racehorses lined up at the starting gate, waiting for that gate to open, and that's what I kind of envision you guys being, those racehorses ready to run, and you're just waiting for that starting gate to open.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because our mentor actually advised us and encouraged us to slow down a little bit. So I wanted to move a lot faster than we were moving, and he put the brakes on.
Why did he advise you to do that?
Because he wanted us to have a good experience and not get overwhelmed with all the stress that comes with doing what we're doing. And it was very good that he did so, because I ended up slowing down and taking a breath, and it helped open my eyes to reality and not just going in blind.
And it also gives you an opportunity to kind of take a breath and take a look at what your assets are actually doing for you, reevaluate, and then re-execute.
Yeah, exactly. It was a testament to their care for us as members and now as friends. They really wanted us to do it the right way and not go too fast, which was very much appreciated.
So when do you think you'll achieve retirement, Reza?
In the next 3 years. I won't have to work anymore.
And that's got to make you feel good that you've got a 3-year plan that is completely obtainable.
Oh, it's huge. And if you ask our 8-year-old what an asset and what a liability is, she'll be able to tell you. And it's wonderful to know that we are building generational wealth to the point where the girls won't really have to worry about what they do for a career, because they're going to be educated on what mommy and daddy are doing in order to do the same thing. And the plan is for both of them to have a income producing asset under their belt by the time they're out of college. So they don't have to worry about life like we all do.
I love it. You've got a generational plan. You've got a legacy plan. You've got it all rolled up into a nice little bow, and it's working for you. And in 2027, you will be completely real estate retired. The entire family will be real estate retired, and you'll be able to do whatever you want when you want to do it. If you want to do what Reza and Ashley are doing, you want to do what I'm doing, you want to do what the 50,000 members of Lifestyles Unlimited are doing, go to lifestylesunlimited.com, sign up for that free workshop, and let's get you going.
The information and opinions you hear on the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers. The Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.